what a world, what DigiDread on the mic, coming in with a nice commentary for your retinas. And now I've had a rough day at work, so why not put myself under further punishment and go against security control? Because, you know, we all love a slice of that, don't we? So, as you can see right here, security control. I'm not gonna lie, bringing up some PTSD. Bringing up some serious PTSD in regards to facing off with this. And this takes me back all the way back to BT7. I tell you, there was a person in my locals which used to run security control. You know who you are. If you're watching this, you know. And yeah, facing off with security control is always a little bit of a struggle. But, you know, I've matured now. I've leveled up, let's just say. And initially, I didn't, you know, think I was facing security control. Because, I mean, like, why would you play that deck on a sim? But here we are. So as soon as they flipped over and revealed the Uber egg, I was like, interesting. And then we go in with the Kari. And I'm like, okay, this is definitely a flashback right here. So I'm thinking I probably should kind of play a little bit reserved, because right now I'm like, I could be facing angels for all we know. It could be a spicy blend. You just never know what you're gonna get on the sim. But we do go in with the first key identifier of security control, and that is the Digimon. Just to flat out recover one. Goodness. So I'm like, okay. So here I'm pushing out. I'm like, you know, Cendrillmon on deck. You know how we got this. Going in, trash that bomb security. It is fine. It's just a shoo, and we just delete that. And I thought, you know what? Try to get a bit of that aggro going. Let's start pushing, because man's at 6 security. That's never great. But lucky enough, puppets can generate enough swings to at least chip down the security, so they're not essentially getting too much value. But the thing that we need to, you know, be cautious of is security control likes to, you know, live off security. And lucky enough, we do crash in to that Defex, which I'm not gonna lie, seeing Defex early kind of gives me a little bit of delight. But Wyvern's Breath absolutely nukes my Cendrillmon, which is just like, yikes. So obviously they got that removal to get rid. DP minusing is an excellent way to get around my protection, which is very frustrating. And this is what we definitely see in this matchup is, you know, that DP minusing is just going to be hella annoying. And then we bump into freaking Emperor, and I'm like, oh man, this is really bringing back some PTSD right now. So I'm just tripping up Tamers left, right, and center. And having Kari and TK out is definitely not the way, especially in this current security, like, you know, setup that effectively they're getting 2 memory ones on passing turn. So they'll be sound at 5, which is not delightful in the slightest. Obviously, my hand right now is not looking fantastic, but we do have Shield which we can go into. But I'm like, what am I doing? What am I doing? There's some serious fumbles that happens in this. Because I don't know why I would not put Shumon in raising. I have no idea why I would not do that. I had enough rookies to actually get some additional draws, but it does kind of serve the overall game plan, you know, further down the line. So now he's doubling up on the Emperor and then going in with the Magna Angie Ace, nukes my champion, and now I'm like, oh, this is fantastic here. I always forget the Digimon Emperor actually gets them amazing draw value here, and you'll see that throughout this game. That brother puts in work. He's really locked me out in terms of me using my actual raising area if I wanted to push out with the shoe. I mean, I got, you know, my size 9s can't push straight out. No, I have to go to a shoe before I start, you know, busting out some moves. So lucky enough, we got EX-07 Orisa giving me that memory. Thank God for that. And we do have a memory set there, which can obviously, we can capitalize on that. But here, I'm thinking, right, get a freaking shoe and raising, my guy. This is definitely the wave that, like, we so need to just make sure that we've got some shoes in the back, and then we can somewhat figure it out on the front line, because we do have a familiar token that's nice. But throughout the course of this game, I was like, if I swing, how updated is this security control build? Because it's kind of like, it's taking me back to like BT7, BT8 kind of vibes, but we got a lot more spice. That'd be hella nice in, you know, where we're at now. So I was very reluctant in terms of like my actions, because I just didn't know what I was kind of walking into. If I'm walking to a new spicy build, I've got to be cautious for every form of thing, every form of kind of tax that the opponent's got going on. But we got the long hair, which is just like, I'm so glad we wasn't at 3. Let's just say that. And removes my true ace. Unfortunate. So I can't push out with the shoe, otherwise it's going to be a turn skip, and that's definitely not the value. So I'm going to keep that shoe in my back. So here I'm like, right, I've got 3 swings, but it's got 4 security. The reason why you're probably thinking, you know, why are you in swinging, my guy? If you give just too much value with security control, they can just recover back. And as you can see, I do go for a swing, and I bump into Purple Kari. Oh boy. This Kari puts in the nuts. And Cendrillmon, or if I pronounce that right, also is a menace throughout this whole game. I kid you not. But let's just talk about the Purple Kari here, because the Purple Kari is probably one of my favorite Karis, because you can just literally gain memory with that infamous all turns action. We love an all turns keyword going on. And, well, not even a keyword, but effect, let's just say. And it really trips me out a lot in terms of me doing what I need to do and really throwing my calculations well off. But we do happen to then grab some pieces, which is going to help us to kind of climb up. Unfortunately, we're not got a ultimate here, which our top end's looking spicy. I mean, we've got Shine Ace, we got Cendrillmon, we got Cherubi. It's looking beautiful, but right now we got Flame Scythe on deck, which just absolutely cuts me down. Recovery 1 gains the memory if they want to gain memory, but right now the opponent's like, nah. Let me get my hand around that neck real quick, because I'm about to choke your dumb ass. That's what the opponent's doing as I get some crazy draw action. Absolutely skipped out on the freaking Kari effect, which I respect it, because for some reason, I don't know why I have not played my starter deck Orisa out by now. It's just astounding. I've got this far and I'm doing think, maybe starter deck Orisa might just actually help me execute some more plays. But you know, like I say, when you're in the moment, you kind of tunnel visioning. You kind of tunnel vision and thinking, how the hell am I going to get break through the security? How much value am I going to just possibly trip out of security? Whilst kind of thinking, you know, my forward planning sometimes can be a bit shit. I'm not gonna lie. And this is definitely evidence of that. You know, I respect it. I don't mind poking fun at myself. So pass over to the opponent. Opponent starts at 5. So I'm like, right, I really need to, like, if I'm chipping down at that security, I need to make sure that they've got more security than I do if I'm going to be passing turn. Because I'm giving them too much value here. I'm giving them too much value in that memory gain. And also, we obviously do have the Kari that can just trip out at any point. So right now, it's kind of nice because, you know, the actual Kari and TK effect won't give them freaking 2 memory. 2 memory is huge in this deck where I'm facing off with. So lucky enough, we do manage to get that clutch scramble, searching out our pieces, which is massive. But we do need to remember, when you're versing security control, they're in it for the long game. They ain't rushing. They're just like, yeah, I'm going to chill out. You burn yourself out. So then I get the sweet dub, passive dub. So I'm gonna make sure that the brother's locked in and making sure that my actual card count is doing all right in order for me to even survive the game by, you know, standard freaking game rules. So I'm gonna suspend the EX Orisa and I'm gonna get out of shoot. So it means I've just got a few more bodies out in field. We are not suppressed by the come at me bro pose of Digimon Emperor. We can actually step out. Yo, what up, bruh? That's what Shumon be vibing in right now. Followed with the shoe and standard, coming out with the rollerblades. So here, I'm thinking, right, it's pop-off time. Let's start climbing. Let's lock in and start doing shit. So we go with the Evo into the Chaparral, which is enable us to obviously get some Digimon out if we had a level 3. Unfortunate. But lucky enough, we do have a good plethora of like options here. We got Scramble, which can obviously cheat up into our Cendrillmon efficiently. We can evo for 1 with our promo Shoo, get some, get a familiar token out, you know how we do. But the thing here is that we don't want to swing until we've actually got an answer to the Shadow Seraphi, because Shadow Seraphi, if you literally check their security, you will be digivolved, not even once per turn. So for me right now, I'm thinking, right, I gotta log that shit right off. Like, nah, Shadow Seraphi is the bouncer currently, and we need to out it. Though I'm not gonna lie, at this point I did forget what Shadow Seraphi's undeletion effect is, but I won't, that's a slight spoiler. But I'm gonna go and swing in to the Shadow Seraphi, but lucky enough we do have the DP minusing to get rid of the Magna and G-Ace there too. So we're just going 2 for 2. It's all good. And I was like, if I just hard crashing this, no worries. I'll just use familiar token. We're good. Hindsight, should have just let myself die, because I forgot that's the moment again. Nuke my ass, man. Taking those back shots, man. Sheesh. Fucking hell, knock my glass slippers right off, and I'm in the trash. As I'm kind of thinking, where do I want to go with this? So you're gonna see a freaking fumble. You're gonna see such a fumble here, and I'm not gonna lie. There was a time. There's never been a time I wanna hurt a child, but right now my purple Kari is asking for the knuckle shuffle. I swear that turnstile really hurt. It really. Ooh, it's stinging right now, even though I'm commentating. So yeah, that was absolute swipes McGee. Which now I'm naked. I'm absolutely naked. We got Chaparral, which I'm going to get Chaos Deed. I'm going to get Chaos Deed, throw that in my security, burn 1, add, and I'm just like, that's so annoying. So I've gone from having a board to not having a board. I can't even use my scramble. And at the time I was like, why can't I use my scramble? There's no Digimon out. So I'm like, this is nice. So I'm looking at my actual like card totals here. I'm thinking, okay, right, 16, 18, right. Let's maybe take a steady here. I don't want to go on the deck out, but at the same time, I need to get my search on. I need to get my shoe. I need to get my chaperone. So, lucky enough, we'll get some rookies. We can start building up in the back and kind of restabilize a little bit. The opponent's hand's looking pretty large. So there's just literally like variety of options of how they can dismantle my board. And this is what the thing I hate about versus security control. I get the general kind of like, the options that they're going to bust out. But because we're currently in a newer format, I mean, we've got effectively Medieval that can just come out here and just stop my fun. Defex is still a staple as standard, you know what I mean. We've got Aces for days. I just don't know where security control is kind of popping off. And obviously right now, blam, look, recovery, boys at 5 again, which is wild. Absolutely nukes my shoes, man. Freaking absolutely scuffed those bad boys. Oh, they was limited edition. Sheesh. So here I'm like, okay, right, let's do I wanna pop my scramble? I think I do, because I wanna kind of get a core piece. I need to get my Reese's Pieces back online. So I'm really just filling through. I'm like, right, let's get a shoe. Let's get a shoe with standard. That's always good. Well, shoe on top of my actual deck, and then let's get a shoe out on field. I can give it pseudo rush, baby. Let's suspend and unsuspend, which is glorious. An amazing tech with this deck. So as standard, Arissa's coming in and giving us that memory, starting at 5, which is hella sexy right here. So I can start spawning out some Digimon. I can get some swings out. And this is the point where I was like, right, how I'm going to have to kind of go about this is build out wide and then go all in. That is literally the approach we got going on here. So I use the Vortex Resonance. We get the rookies. Rookies are going to be playing a pivotal part because obviously we do have the EX Arissas out, which obviously can give us that free value. I'm going to Evo on top of, the girl right now. Why am I even debating? It's going to be the Chaperone, baby. And then we're going to go into our let's hit a pause right here. I think we need to really just log in and Shazam, get out our girl. This, another fumble. And this was purely a misclick, so don't judge me. Why did I say no to bringing out a familiar token? Unless there is literally a medieval Cendrillmon out, there should be 0. Like, let me think about that. Moment where I wouldn't play out familiar. So realistically, I actually had more swings on board, but you know, I don't want to handicap myself as all. So I'm gonna go with a juicy little overclock, and right here, overclock's gonna come super clutch because it means that we can obviously delete our token. We can give -3 on the Magnet and GA, so standard, you know what I would do, and then we're gonna give it a -6 as well with the Cendrillmon, as we gotta think about, you know, maybe suspend, get out a shoe, get some more search and consistency. You know how we do this. But looking at our actual remaining deck, I mean, that's 2 pieces we picked. We've got 5 cards left. This ain't hot. Man's not hot, but I'm gonna go and delete that with that glorious overclock. Yes, sir. And then this freaking card, bro, in security is really, really being freaking annoying. Obviously, Pipilkari is doing what Pipilkari does and just swipes a little bit of memory. And then I've got minus security on my Chaperone, which is not fantastic at all. So here I'm thinking, right, let's go for another swing with a Cendrillmon. Beautiful, nice. Another TK and Kari. So because there's 2 out, I'm like, right, I can't get another swing in, can't do any damage. So I'm going to build out super wide. Yo, we got Ruby, can you give me that promo shoe? Familiar tokens on deck. That's how I like it. This is how I like it, going out wide. If they're going to throw something out, possibly, you know, we might be able to delete something, but we are able to obviously suspend our Orisa off of the deletion of our familiar tokens. This was my thinking. I'm like, right, I got bodies on board. If I was at that Lonky, and Lonky can get rid of 2 threats. That 12k really comes in clutch. Do I want to protect it? No. But I'm like, let me just suspend that real quick. Let me just suspend that, get a shoe out on deck, and then obviously the deletion of the familiar token. So here I'm like, right, we're 3 and 3. It's do or die. It's literally do or die. We go in, last egg, don't matter. Unless I've got a freaking, can't remember the freaking, the tamer, the freaking hell, Promo Uko tamer, whoever he is. I don't play him anyway, so it's absolutely irrelevant. But right here, I'm like, right, I've got the setup. Unless I trip into just some cracked security, which this is security control, so, you know, it's going to be pretty nuts. We're going to go for that 2-check standard. I've got barriers. I'm like, okay, fine. And this card again comes in with the minus security. We do have the Kari on deck, which just absolutely limits my actual plays, because I initially was thinking, right, I'm going to go to Chaperone, get some more bodies out. It's all good. But no, now I'm on 2 memory. I can't even own to Chaperone. Unfortunate. But I'm going to have to go baller and swing. We get absolute boobs on legs, and I'm like, right, okay, that's absolutely fine, because we can use the EX-08 Orisa, and we got shows for days. I thought, let's just play the actual promo shoe so I don't deck myself out, and then we're going to give that rush. Do I want to suspend? No, I want to try and win. So here I'm like, okay, we got to respect the Come At Me Bro pose, Digimon Emperor, and I'm like, right, just seriously, just win here. Kari comes out, and I'm thinking, oh boy, Kari, that could have been something. That literally could have been something right there, but no, I'm like, not even a problem, because we're gonna go for that duh. Sheesh, I tell you, that right there, hella tough. I hate secure control with a passion, as you could tell in my tone. But overall, I think I did okay. There was definitely some fumbles. The freaking Cendrillmon, like, not bringing that out, the familiar token, wow, I really outdid myself on that one. I'm not gonna lie. I had plenty of swings on deck, but you know, it is what it is. But if you enjoyed the commentary, smash it with a like a standard. Stay safe, stay fly, and I'll catch you in the next one. DigiDread off the mic.